guys, welcome back to Timber Time Outdoors. In this video we're going to talk about the Yamaha Wolverine X2 XT-R edition, why I chose it, and we're also going to go into the top 3 accessories that I like, the ones that I bought for this vehicle. We'll do kind of a very high overview of the install of those accessories. So let's get to it, guys.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now.
All right, let's jump right into it. So first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about why I chose this vehicle. There are so many different UTVs or side-by-sides you can choose from. I have another video here I'll link up here somewhere. I'll link that one on, kind of a decision tree on how to find that just perfect UTV for you. That's the process I went through to get to this vehicle. But some of the top things that I really liked about this was, it's kind of that Swiss Army knife. It can do everything. It can trail ride. It can do work. It's got a dump box. It's got decent power. It's an 850. I really like how comfortable it is. So the seats are super comfortable. It's got power steering. And like I said, decent suspension for trail riding. So again, it felt like it was the right price point. It was the right vehicle for me because I want to do a lot of different things with it. Ice fishing, trail riding, work with it in my firewood business here. My wife or my significant other who's going to be doing the trail riding with me, she's going to want something a little more comfortable. So I kind of started out with a real basic vehicle. I think it was the Pioneer 520. And I kind of changed my mind and upped the budget just a little bit more to get something a little more comfortable, mainly for her, but also for me. I'm getting older and I wanted something that had some decent suspension. If I'm going to be trail riding for several hours, I wanted something that isn't going to be jostling me around. And that vehicle is really good, utility vehicle, but maybe not so good on the trails. So yeah, Yamaha Wolverine X2. I upgraded to the XT-R edition. I thought the paint job was cool. I needed a winch for, snow plowing and maybe if I get stuck on the trail. But the main reason I went with the XT-R edition was the seats. These seats are slightly more comfortable than the base vehicle. And so, again, just looking for those creature comforts. And so let's get to that right away here. I'm going to be adding the trunk box, the 2-piece windshield, and we've also got a rearview mirror, a really nice one by Seizmik. So let's get to it. So top 3 accessories and why did I buy these? Accessories are a slippery slope. You can spend a ton of money on it. I had to prioritize and these were my top 3 priorities. So we'll start with the windshield. The big white thing back there, that's the windshield. I'll do a brief install for you. Why'd I do a windshield? Fairly obvious. It's all about comfort. So a lot of cold mornings. Ice fishing, it's cold all the time. Hunting, most of the time it's cold. Trail riding. My wife is going to ride with. I want to make sure she's as comfortable as possible. If you've got, puddles and mud, I think a windshield's kind of a no-brainer. I really like this 2-piece one by Yamaha because it folds down. Kind of show you that. So you get kind of the best of both worlds. You can get a full windshield, keep the wind off you completely, or if it's hot out, you can fold it down and the wind will kind of go up over to give you a little airflow. So that's a windshield. All right, next is storage. So side-by-sides, UTVs, for the most part, have 0 storage or very little. This one has a glove box and a center console, but for the most part, you can't put anything in there other than a few goodies. So if I'm bringing, stuff that my wife wants to bring, if I'm ice fishing, got my electronics in here. There's just a variety of things that you want to protect from the elements or maybe theft. So this box by Yamaha is perfect. You can lock it. It's got some nice latches on it. Super easy to install. It pops in and out with a few bolts, and I'll show you that. So super happy to have the Yamaha box, basically to bring more stuff, make sure Mama's got all her things, her purse, and so forth. All right, and then the third accessory was a mirror, rearview mirror. Probably will get side mirrors at some point, but I wanted a rearview mirror for a couple reasons. The one I got here is the Seizmik. Show you that. Seizmik mirror is really good quality, and the reason I wanted a mirror is mainly safety. So I probably won't be the fastest guy on the trail. I'll probably be that slow guy, that Sunday driver. So I'm probably going to have people coming up behind me quite often. I want to make sure I pull over and just follow good UTV etiquette on the trails. I do think it's going to be handy for other things too, you know, maybe plowing. We'll see. I might need rear view mirrors for that, but for the most part, the mirror was all about safety. And the other thing I like about this Seizmik mirror is it has a light built into it. And so for hunting in the morning, you know, maybe you're trying to dig into your pack before you head into the woods. I really like this red light. That's, you know, something that you can't see from far away. And then the blue light is cool too, because this machine already has some blue LED lights in the interior, so that matches there, and you can set it up. So looks like there's a green light as well. But really nice mirror, good quality. One thing that I will mention here for this particular machine, so the Yamaha Wolverine has, I think it's 1.5 inch roll cage. And if you go to purchase this, yeah, I think the smallest one is maybe 1 7/8, something like that. And so it looks like you can't buy this one with the light for this particular machine, but I called Seizmik and look what they have here. So they sent me the right bracket. I assume they just haven't created the kit yet, but I'll basically just swap out the bracket that's in here for the smaller one, and I'll be able to put it on the machine. And then the last, I don't know if you call this an accessory, it's kind of a must-have, is a license plate kit. So, you know, I put the stickers on already, and I'll just add the license plate kit. I think I'm going to end up putting it up on the roll cage. We'll see. I'll find a good spot for it. So let's jump into it here. You know, this won't be a comprehensive install of everything. Just kind of hit the highlights for all three. The box is a super easy install, very quick. More involved is the windshield, and then kind of in between will be the mirror install. All right, to install the box, it's super simple. You take it out of the box. They basically give you 4 of these thumb screws. They pick up on the tapped holes that are already in the bed. So you essentially just put this thing in place. All right, to get this thing in place, there's a little, basically a rib right here that fits into the slot in the side of the box. So you got to line those up. Pretty straightforward. And it fits pretty snugly down in. Get the other side. There we go. All right, and then to keep it from flying out, essentially you screw these screws in place, and then you also have a drain plug for right there. So when you get all 4 screwed in, this is what it looks like. I will say you have to screw these down quite a bit. There's a lot more threads there than you need, most likely, but really straightforward. Basically threading in 4 thumb screws, and now we'll do the drain plug. All right, I've pre-assembled the plug. You can put it in place. Now just thread the washers and nuts on the back, tighten things down. All right, so that's the install of the box. Really straightforward. Get a lock here, drain plug there, and the latches are super easy to work. Not sure why the drain plug is there. Maybe maybe a cooler, or maybe I suppose if you get some water in there, spraying it out. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice way to add some quick storage. You can take it off if you want to use a dump box. So way to go, Yamaha, really good. Windshield, just got some plastic on it now. You got your 4 quick clamps, package of hardware. Those are the tie downs. So when you have it folded down on the hood, you can strap it to the hood. These are the little bumpers. So that is a little unnerving. I have to cut holes in the hood. So measure twice, drill once, right? But really straightforward instructions. Essentially all you do is you install the 4 clamps onto the windshield. You install the straps onto the windshield, and then drill the holes and then put it in place. So the windshield can be removed pretty easily with basically those clamps. All right, I've got all the clamps opened up. It recommends that you put a blanket on the hood of the side-by-side and then basically tip it up into the opening and seat the gasket. All right, sorry about the bad lighting here, but essentially you just close the clamp. You have to probably unthread this a little bit. And then clamp it down tight. Now, you can see it's not tight, so I'm gonna have to adjust things a little bit, but I'm just gonna get it kind of temporarily fastened. I'll do that with all 4 clamps. All right, I've got it on here now. Doesn't fit super tight in the corners. Fits nice and snug here. You do have to kind of mess with the clamps a little bit. Right now they're still loose here, but it takes a little fudging up and down, side to side. This gasket is a little bit tight to start with. But anyway, you just kind of have to reposition it. It's not too difficult. So I'm going to tighten down these screws and then work on drilling out the hood. There's a couple of studs. Essentially, this is what holds it down to the hood. So when you're going with it up, you just clamp it like that. So far, I like it. The install is not too bad. It's just a little bit of a learning curve. All right, I've got the windshield tightened down. I've got it positioned side to side. I like how it engages with the gasket. It is kind of tight at the top, but you want that, right? You don't want any water getting through. So now, basically what we're going to do is we're going to put the bumpers on the hood. You have 2 options. You can use VHP tape or you can drill holes and use screws. I'm going to just use the tape because you never know. Might not like this. Maybe I'll sell it someday and the person wants to put a different windshield on. So I'm going to use the VHP tape. Essentially, we're just going to eyeball it here. Position it and stick them down. I'm going to use rubbing alcohol and clean the surface really good. But if you're not familiar with 3M VHP tape, it is very, very solid. Very hard to get off, actually, so I'm not worried about drilling holes or having screws. The VHP tape's going to be plenty good. All right, I got both bumpers in place. Fits perfect. Now we're going to do the side strap. Okay, next we're going to do the side strap hold downs. And the instructions are not very clear. It basically says to mark and drill. But I think on my model, maybe not all of them have this flare right here. It looks to me like I used this hole. It's like in perfect spot for it. So I'm going to see if that'll work. All right, so I removed the original bolt and put the stud in here. It looks perfect to me. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down and call it good. All right, that's the windshield install. I'll just kind of show you how it works. So you got a hold down strap right here. Just undo that on both sides. Normally you'd have this clamped down a little tighter so it doesn't rattle around. So essentially open this up. And then you have to kind of tuck this gasket in. So tuck the gasket in on both sides. All right, once you have the gasket tucked in up here, just fasten your strap so it's not flopping around. And then clamp down on the ROPS bar. All right, let's do the rearview mirror. So again, from Seizmik, let's see what's in the box. This is that extra clamp that they sent me for my smaller ROPS bar diameter. So pretty high-end packaging. Pretty straightforward instructions. Throw those aside. These are all the settings for the light. I'll reference that later. Not sure what this is. I guess it's help if you need help. All right, so here's the bigger clamp. Doesn't look that much different, but you know, we don't want it to be loose, so we'll switch those out. And then it looks like just the mirror itself. And they give you a little tool. It's got the little hex on it. All right, first thing they want you to do is take out a screw and open it up. So basically, get it looking like that. We'll put it on the wraps. I had a 50-50 chance of putting it on wrong, and of course I did put it on wrong, so I had to flip it around. So I flipped it around, and we're just gonna snug these bolts down, and these are the ones that they say not to tighten super tight. All right, we've got everything tightened down. Time for the mirror. Carefully thread that in place. Comes awfully close to the windshield, but it's working. Here we go. All right, I think I got this thing finally installed. It was a little bit of a pain in the butt. You have to use that little star tool they give you and take the batteries out. There's a little slip sheet in there. Get the batteries going. Left button is your white light. A couple settings. And then the right button is the color. There's a way to program it. I won't go into that. It's pretty simple. But I'm going to go with blue because that's what's here. But basically you just click and hold this down and kind of cycle through the lights you want. But yeah, pretty nice little light. Pretty happy with it. Okay, quick walk around. Windshield done. Seismic mirror done. License plate and trunk. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up a quick install of the top 3 accessories and why I purchased this awesome Yamaha Wolverine vehicle. If you like this video, hit that like button, share with your friends, subscribe if you like this kind of content, and remember everybody, keep it in the timber. Bye bye.